ਭਰਮ ਭੁਲਾਈ ਸਭ ਜਗ ਫਿਰੀ, ਫਾਵੀ ਹੋਈ ਫਾਲ। ਸੋ ਸਹਿ ਸਾਥ ਨ ਦੇਵਈ, ਕਿਆ ਚੱਲੈ ਤਿਸ ਨਾਲ। ਹੁਕਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ, page 947-948, ਅੰਗ 947 948। ਸ਼ਲੋਕ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ। ਭਰਮ ਭੁਲਾਈ ਸਭ ਜਗ ਫਿਰੀ, ਫਾਵੀ ਹੋਈ ਭਾਲ। ਸੋ ਸਾਥ ਨ ਦੇਵਈ, ਕਿਆ ਚੱਲੈ ਤਿਸ ਨਾਲ। ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦੀ ਹਰ ਥਿਆਈਐ, ਅੰਤਰ ਰਖੀਐ ਉਰ ਥਾਰ। ਨਾਨਕ ਕਰ ਬੈਠਿਆ ਸੋ ਪਾਇਆ, ਜਾਂ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਰਤਾਰ। Slok Mahalla third. In the previous slok, in response to Kabirji's concern that in spite of his going through so much hardship for God's sight, he didn't show even a little bit of interest in him, Guruji stated that God himself makes us go through necessary difficulties to bring out the virtues in us, and then he himself blesses us with his union. Now Guruji expresses a similar thought in another way, but this time he puts that question on himself and says, being misguided by doubt, I roamed throughout the world and was exhausted trying to search him. But that spouse wouldn't bless me with his sight, which could give me any peace. I realize that I cannot force him to do anything against his will. I have been advised that through Guru's grace we should meditate on God and keep him enshrined within us. When I did this, and O Nanak, when the Creator showed his grace, I obtained my spouse even while sitting at home. Stanza 1. Mahalla Tija. Tanda thavat din gaya, रैन गवाई सोए। कूड़ बोल बिख खाया, मन मुख चलिया रोए। सिरे ऊपर जम डंड है, दूजे भाई पत खोए। हर नाम कदे ना चेत्यो, फिर आवन जाना होए। गुर प्रसादी हर मन वसै, जम डंड न लागै कोए। नानक सहजे मिल रहे, कर्म परापत होए। Mahalla third. In the previous stanza, Guru shared with us his personal experience and how by meditating on God he experienced him right in his own heart. In this slok, he tells us why some self-conceited people don't care to remember him and consequently keep suffering the pains of births and deaths. He says, O my friends, the day of a self-conceited person is spent running after worldly chores, and the night is wasted sleeping. Telling lies, the self-conceited person eats poison of ill-gotten earnings and in the end departs grieving from this world. On such a person's head remains hovering the punishment by the demon of death, and because of duality, that is love of worldly riches rather than God, loses respect. Such a person has never meditated on God's name, so continues coming and going in and out of this world again and again. But by Guru's grace, in whose heart God is enshrined, that person is not punished by the demon of death. O Nanak, such a person imperceptibly remains united with God. However, only by his grace does one obtain such a state. Stanza 2. पौड़ी। एक अपनी सिफती लायन दे सतगुरु मत्ती, एक नौ बख्सियन अस्थिर हर सत्ती। पौन पानी बै संतरो हुक्म करे भगती, ए नानू भाव अगला पूरी बंत बंती। सब इको हुक्म वरतदा, मनिए सुख पाई। पौड़ी। Now summarizing the reasons why some keep meditating on God's name and enjoying all kinds of blessings, while others don't care to meditate on God and keep suffering the pains of births and deaths. Guruji says, "Oh my friends, in this world of myriad kinds, by blessing them with the instruction of the true Guru, God has yoked some persons to singing His praise. That immovable eternal God has blessed some with His name. Even such element as air, water, and fire worship Him by obeying His command. They are always in great fear of God, who has made a perfect arrangement for running this universe everywhere. It is the one command of God which prevails, and only by obeying that command one obtains peace." Body third. The message of this body is that by our own efforts or power, we cannot obtain God on His own. By blessing us with the guidance of the Guru, He makes us meditate on His name and comes to reside in our heart. But it doesn't mean that we should waste all our days in running after worldly affairs and nights in sleeping. Instead, we should always keep praying to Him to bless us with the guidance of the true Guru, so that we may help he may help meditate on he may help us meditating on God's name and learn to live in His will, so that we are not punished by the demon of death and consequently suffer going through myriads of births and deaths in different species or existences, and which is the worst kind of punishment for our souls. So we should remember this thing and always try to meditate on His name. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. SGGS, page 947-948. Thank you, and